Professionally, this new career has actually given me a fulfillment, you know. It gave me fulfillment and also gave me an increase in my salary as well. So I have a kind of, it gave me a fulfillment and advancement in my career, and which is more key. That's the main thing that I was actually particular about, because I don't really like being static. I always want to move. So my current job right now is a fulfilling one for me. My name is Elizabeth Adesoya. I actually joined the Talent Stacker. That was on the 10th of May, 2021. So I was just 5.5 months in Talent Stacker, and I landed a job as a Salesforce administrator in a financial service cloud unit. Always been working in the banking industry I've worked in several units, investment banking, customer service, and other units. But recently in Canada, where I currently reside, I started working as a customer service specialist. I also work in a bank, and later got another job with a pharmaceutical company, where I got the opportunity to work with Salesforce application as a technical support and customer service advisor. So early this year, I got to know about Salesforce through another program, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted Salesforce. I finished this Salesforce and I jumped into business analyst, and eventually I decided I prefer to go with a technical the technicality involved in Salesforce. So that was why I got to know about Talent Stacker through Anita Smith, So getting to know about Talent Stacker, in fact, that really gave me that inspiration to, to follow up with my dream. If I hadn't joined Talent Stacker, probably I would have been discouraged, because having to work on the trail is not that easy. At times you get stuck and you're like, oh, how do I find my way out? But with the community of people in Talent Stacker, I was able to actually get people to rally around to provide me with information when I get stuck. And what really helped me in Talent Stacker has to do with the personal branding that Brandley Rice actually talked about. I followed it strictly, because when I watch the tutorial and the advice he gives, I'm always on LinkedIn, posting, chatting, commenting. So I ensure that I followed his advice regarding being active on LinkedIn. And that eventually got me this job, because I wasn't really ready for the job. I was already working, so I just felt I needed to get my certification. And surprisingly, I got the hiring manager contacting me about the current job that I'm doing right now. For me, I'm someone that have that natural curiosity for knowledge. I always want to undertake any challenging task. So I felt I was in my comfort zone. So I needed something that will actually challenge my intellectual capability. And I found out that Salesforce would be the right fit for me. It's a technical stuff, but with that, I'm able to challenge my brain and also enable me to learn a lot of things. And for the fact that Salesforce is so broad, so I needed something that would be more challenging, because I love solving complex problems, and that was what led me into Salesforce. Didn't really have any reservation, because I already knew what I wanted. I knew I've gone through some program, and I knew that when I got to know about Talent Stacker, and I made my own personal research on concerning the program. So I knew the program actually have a lot of value that is going to enable me to achieve the dream of becoming a Salesforce administrator. So I didn't have any reservation. Immediately I got that information on how to register, I quickly jumped at it, because I already knew what I wanted. Before I joined Talent Stacker, my connection was just below 50 connection, okay? But I haven't listened to Brandon Rice about LinkedIn, how to make yourself visible and active on LinkedIn. I followed every step that he says in his modules. So what I did most was I ensured that every day I log on to my LinkedIn. I might not spend more than 10, 20 minutes, but I don't escape any day without being on LinkedIn. And what I do is that I tend to like comments of people's posts. Then I also watch some video that have been posted on LinkedIn as well. Then I think of what I'm doing currently that I can also share or post. So what I do, or just like he advised, that we should ensure that we post at least once in a week. So I made sure that I always make a post at least once in a week. If you check, everything about my posting has to do with Salesforce and business analyst, you know. So I think that was what gave me more connection, because everything reflects Salesforce on my LinkedIn. For instance, the study group that is being organized within the community actually goes a long way to help me out. Like I have to join. I know we were having a study group that was organized by Alex. So I'm always present to where we do a kind of tutorial on each of the modules. And at the end, we do a kind of quiz as well. So, and also from the Facebook group, when I work on any trail and I'm stuck, I have the opportunity to also post to request for answer or advice on what to do in order for me to be able to skate through the trail that I'm doing. So that's how Talent Stacker community has actually helped me to go far. So the mock interview is actually amazing for me, because if I had not attended the mock interview, probably I won't have enough to say or display that kind of confidence that I had during the interview process. So for instance, I didn't have a volunteer experience, but from the mock interview, I got to know that I have a previous experience that could also fit into the Salesforce ecosystem. So I decided to leverage on that. And the key one is that I was a Salesforce end user. I never thought of it that I could also reference that. If you remember, you did mention that I should restructure my elevator speech to mention at the beginning that I'm a Salesforce end user, which I did. So I leverage on that aspect, and I also leverage on my previous experience as well. And the most important thing that helped me was that confidence that I learned, or maybe I tried to like imbibe during the mock interview, because having someone interviewed me first before the real interview gave me much confidence, you know, to get the job. At the end of the second round of the interview, the hiring manager actually had, informed me that he had other applicants that they were also interviewing alongside with me, that they were going to give their final decision and they'll get back to me before the week runs out. So on my LinkedIn, again, he chat me up and made sure that, oh, I got the highest score for the evaluation, and they decided to, you know, to choose me to come in. And before I knew it, I think maybe like 2-3 days after, then I got the offer letter. You know, I was super excited because I wasn't expecting it at all. I wasn't even ready at all. So I was so happy about that. So they wanted me to resume a week after I got the offer letter, but I had to inform them I needed additional 1 week. So eventually I resumed with them. They should try to follow up the modules in the Talent Stacker program, which is very key. And it's not just for them to listen to the, you know, to the modules or listen to the presentation, but they should also take action. Most especially when it comes to personal branding, it's really key for you to actually land a job in the ecosystem. The ecosystem actually need more people, but you should be able to display that kind of confidence. And through Talent Stacker Pro modules and program, when you watch them, it gives you a kind of confidence. And also all those events and webinars that have been organized, they should also try to attend it as well. Those are the area that build one's confidence as well. Then you get to learn a lot about Salesforce through that program as well. In terms of having to have that confidence to do things, if not for Talent Stacker, I would have dropped out of Salesforce because having to go through those trails wasn't easy. But have it in mind that I have Talent Stacker community group around me, and also for the fact that people are actually into the Salesforce ecosystem within the Talent Stacker, they're getting jobs. They're also getting certifications. So that was what the part of things that motivated me. So if not for Talent Stacker, I wouldn't have been visible I won't be visible or active on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn would just still remain, static. But by joining Talent Stacker, I've been able to, move up my connection from less than 50 to almost 2,000 right now.